Okay. I'm going to finish up week 3 of muscles by talking about the muscles that are on the anterior side of the lower leg. I'm going to start with this muscle here. It comes and covers the anterior part of the tibia, so it's called the tibialis anterior. It begins on the tibia and inserts into the metatarsals there. As it pulls, it causes dorsiflexion, bringing the foot upward, and it also causes inversion, pulling the foot towards the big toe, tibialis anterior. Next to it, we have this broad muscle here, which is called the extensor digitorum longus. The extensor digitorum longus begins on the tibia and the fibula, and will insert into the middle phalanx of the digits there. As it pulls, it also causes these digits to extend upward. Right here in between where we see the tendons of the extensor digitorum and where we see the tendon of the tibialis anterior, we see this large tendon starting here from the big toe, coming here, and it goes underneath the extensor digitorum. That's called the extensor hallucis, and if I move the muscle here, we'll be able to see it underneath. That's this muscle here. This is the extensor hallucis. It begins on the fibula, which is right there, and will insert into the distal phalanx of the big toe, and it causes extension of that big toe. The last muscles we'll talk about are on the fibula side, so on the lateral leg. We're going to start off with this muscle that begins up here, and it kind of comes down and narrows out into one tendon right there and inserts in here. This is called the fibularis longus. It's this long muscle there. It begins on the tibia and the fibula and will insert into the tarsals and metatarsals of the foot. As it pulls, it uses its lateral malleolus almost as a pulley and causes plantar flexion of the toe, pulling the foot downward that way. It also pulls towards that little toe and causes eversion. Right below that muscle, underneath it, deep to it, we have the fibularis brevis. On that side and on that side there. So clear up this way and just around this side right there. The fibularis brevis will begin just on the fibula and will continue to come down this way and into the metatarsals. Again, it performs a similar action of dorsiflexion, of plantar flexion, pulling the foot downward, and eversion of the foot. The last muscle we can't quite see. We can only see its tendon, and you can see it right there. If you'll notice, these 4 tendons here are part of the extensor digitorum longus, and this one's part of the extensor hallucis. But if we come down to the 6th one, right here, this one's called the fibularis tertius. Its insertion is further up below the fibularis brevis, and we can't see that. So it begins on the fibula and will continue downward this way into the metatarsals. Because it's not being supported by the malleolus, its action will be dorsiflexion, pulling the foot upward, but will still be eversion, pulling the foot towards the toes. And those are all the muscles of the anterior leg.